Yo, it's Zed here back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of the spells that recently been updated, and honestly, I don't know exactly why, to be honest with you. Let's go, for example, on what the issues were for lore spells. I know lore spells has been changed for a lot of schools, and honestly, Storm got hit really bad for some reason, and the only lore spells that I kind of had a problem with was Berry for Storms for low level, not for max PvP by the way, just for low level, because the people were just spamming those spells and just getting out of kill range, and it was healing them for a lot. But for max PvP, it was the only win condition they had for Berry spamming, and honestly, it's one of those spells where they kind of needed to use them for either taking off a weakness, for getting out of kill range. I know most schools can heal counter and try to and honestly they used it mainly for gambit setups like Storm Owl, but technically that's out the window as well. So Catch and Berry, honestly not really sure exactly why it was nerfed for max PvP. For leagues like Masters and Legendary, it was a huge problem. I completely understand that, but unfortunately for max PvP it got hit the most, and I really want to just talk about that. And honestly, why was Winter Moon also a big problem? Just because it was a problem because of Storms. Storms barely have any res, and they're getting shattered for, you know what I mean? That was the only school that had a problem with Winter Moon. And I just want to say that, Storms are just never going to be a good school for 1v1s. It's never going to be a thing. Point that out. It's a glass cannon school with the most damage. It needs to be supported in 2v2. I've said this 100 times, but unfortunately that's not a thing in this community. Anyways, we're just going to move on and continue talking about the lore spells and why it's been a huge issue. So let's talk about, for example, I think I have my main account loading here. I kind of want to talk about Ninja Pigs, and I don't really understand why Ninja Pigs was also, why can we have an actual damage spell? Let's go, for example, we don't have anything in our decks that has a decent DPP damage, and I'm not really sure where they're going with this, and I might have an idea. I might have an idea on whether it's going to be like a shadow bullshit. You know what I mean? People don't have all the gears for shadow pip rating. Okay, this is going to be an issue in the future if you make everything gambited and you just want players to use their shads for the only hit they got. That's, you know what I mean? The best thing you can do is probably set up a gambit, and that takes a lot. Certain schools can't do it because everyone is dual schooling, and you know what I mean. It's going to be an issue. So I have an issue with the lore the lore spells, and why they were, you know what I mean, why they were all changed for some reason. Honestly, we never had an issue with that, with those spells whatsoever. But according to them, it was just with the update, and not really sure if they ever talked about it and what the reason of the lore spells being changed was all about. Catalan, Storm got shattered, you know what I mean? That's the only school I can think of that can't play the game at this point. But honestly, Ninja Picks it's not so bad, because Myth it doesn't really rely on Ninja Picks that much, but it's a gambit. Their gambits are good, and they can remove shields and you know what I mean, weaknesses at the same time, and while doing a lot of damage. So it's just I'm trying to figure out what the actual reasoning behind that was. Deaths, for example, let me go back to my death here. Death really kind of screwed a lot of schools over, like Storms. You can't play Storm against a death. You have to you have to flee. It's not even a matchup. And I want to say that because I don't have Headless. Actually, I don't even know why I went back on my death. Anyways, Headless, for example, it gives you 245 weaknesses. If you do that against a death, they would have to Snowman, and as soon as you Snowman, they just Pyro Dragon and get 235 blades. And then they can just do it again. And let's not talk about Grim, bro. Grim literally shafts the fuck out of Storms, bro. I'm talking about other schools can tank this, and they're still fucking cooked. But you just shad a fucking Storm, and it does so much damage, bro. It's over. And the reason why this became a problem is because that's recently gotten a huge update with Shadow Cage. I've already talked about why this is a problem. If you don't balance this, this stat, other schools are just going to take over the queue. This is why Death has been so good. They can actually get up to 167% Shadow Pip rating, and after 4 rounds, they get a shot. And once you do that, it's game over. They just pyro your shield off, and they are going to shadow you for a lot of damage. A lot. And I'm talking about like so much that it's just a kill shot. It's just a kill shot at this point. You're going to be half HP, and then in another 3 rounds, by the time you take off those weaknesses, they can just use Grim again. And this is why Shadow Pip rating has been like really awful. So yes, weaknesses are a huge problem in a game. Like for example, you can't really aura. This is another issue where you made a 65%, 70% weakness, a single weakness, to like double. That means they have to take it off with either Snowman, or they have to like spend 2 rounds taking this garbage off as a Storm, and that's why it's like undoable. Okay, let's talk about now that, since we talked about that matchup. What else? I think let's go on life. I think the life is a problem. It's another school that has a lot of problems, mainly because I want to say I don't know what it is. They got so much HP that you can get away with anything. What is the point of this HP? Like, they can get up to 18k. I'm not even there yet. I'm actually struggling to get more HP because, like, you know, you kind of want to like freshen out the stats too. But like, you can get up to like with certain amulets, you can socket double, you know, square jewels and just you can literally get up to like 18.9, bro. And with insane stats like 75 res, you can do whatever you like. This is why the school is like, hey, I'm just gonna go make some coffee and literally do whatever I want. That's just what it is. And honestly, I don't mind the HP or whatever. I just feel like they need to expedite. You know, I know they're working on team PvP because of a lot of spells that being changed into like AoEs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at this. This Lamasa was not an AoE. So I'm assuming they're bringing team PvP back, but like I can't promise y'all that. You know how long they take to like get those kind of things into the game. They take their time, and by the time they put it in, it's just like it doesn't even matter because the damage has already been done. Anyhow, so yeah, I want to talk about life. This school is slept on, but majority of people like don't know how to play this school because they're so bad at the game. Honestly, you technically don't even need to pack heals whatsoever. You don't need this. You don't even need that, bro. You need bubble control, which means you got like you don't even need to spend any pips on bubbles. Just literally just single bubble all game, and just Goat Monk, and you can use I don't know how to say this dog. You can use the shot. It's pretty decent, and honestly, it's a really good school. You do not even have to Jade whatsoever. All you need is just decent weakness counters. That's all you need. You know, deaths are going to spam Headless, and I promise you, I feel like Evil Snowman, you might actually just pack a lot of that, and you just play against Mitts. You know, you just need decent, you know what I mean, decent Scarecrows and stuff like that. Their mirror match is not even like, you know what I mean, it's not even playable. You don't even need to heal. You don't even need to heal. Just hit each other until like someone. But a lot of people don't know how to play the school. They will just Jade and just heal spam their way off until there's, you know what I mean? They don't really want to play for IQ and just be like, hey, let's just all in. Life against life is just not doable because a lot of people are being toxic. A lot of people are just PvEing and lifting, where you just like just go full, you know what I mean? Full just spam like buffs until you can just gambit that Myth spell, that Myth Jin. It's just so stupid. It's not been nerfed yet too. But technically, they actually listened to one of my feedbacks and they actually got rid of that Jin on Diego. He used to have the Jins, but like they actually took the consideration. Like they really fixed that. Which is great, but it's like you can still learn it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So this guy used to have the Jins, and people used to just train the fucking spell like like an ice. I don't know. I'll never understand it. But yeah, they technically did made it like so you can actually have to spend a lot of training points on it. But that's not it. It's not going to stop them from training the spell. Anyhow. Other than that, I genuinely think that life is really fun in 2v2, where you just support your carries like Storm, because Storms will literally one-shot anybody in 2v2. You guys know that. With life 2v2, it's just that, you know what it is? Thundering Jin. That's a spell that does 2.3 base with no buffs. So it's really incredible to play. You know what I mean? To play with life, and you can just one-shot someone round 2. You know what I mean? Just like how they can get one shot in 1v1s, they need to be able to do that as a Storm in 2v2. Fuck it, right? You're weak against all these other schools like Death that can just literally, like, you know what I mean? The one tap you in 1v1, be really OP in 2v2. That is just reality of it. Honestly, Storm is not terrible. It just needs, you know what I mean? It needs team PvP back. That's all I'm gonna say against Storms. But yeah, life is really OP. And honestly, I think. They are it's a decent school that can set up any gambit that, you know what I mean? For fires, they can set up, you know what I mean? Nice trees, you know what I mean? For storms, they can set up decent, you decent heal gambits for myths. They can set up decent shield. It's a really good support school, and I feel like it's just like, you know what I mean? This is what the game is missing, but I feel like they're taking their time on that, and that's why it's like, balance, for example. The school is not bad, but you need perfect shadow pip, like shadow pip rating. Once again, you need raid gear. That's like I said. And honestly, if you don't at least have 160 something on the balance, don't ever play the school, because the only two spells you need to rely on is Gaze and Mock. In the meanwhile, you just, you know what I mean, you play for Samurai, you have to like race, you have to play defensive. That's all you can do on the balance now. You can't skill spam, and it's just like it's a cricket, like it's crickets. But honestly, I don't care about balance. I don't really think the school has ever been fun to play. It's always been like, broken. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Fire exists. Fire's my secondary best school, and it's really OP now. But nobody wants to play Fire because deaths are actually taking over Fire. Apparently, you just you know what I mean. I've already knew this was gonna happen because of how OP, you know what I mean, deaths are going to be, because of, you know what I mean, that 2 shifts, that 2 life shift spells, and that's all you need on the death. That's it. That's the only thing they were weak against was dots, and that's all you need. Now they have insane shadow gauge, and they are just simply the best school. So death is really number 1. Some people will say no. Yeah, it is. Let's be honest. Death is actually baiting Fires now. All you just gotta do is sit on gambits and just debuff them all game. That's it. So you just need, you know what I mean, Cam Bandit or Bandit Coot, whatever it's called, and that's all you need to do. That's all you need to use. Other than that, that's it. So, yep, Storm is unplayable. Myth is in a decent spot. It's really good, actually. Balance is not playable because if you don't have raid gear, it's not doable. Once again, broken stat over here. They just want you to raid. Doesn't even matter what kind of gear you have on, like that. All that shit is out the window. You need raid gear, otherwise you're gonna lose on the balance, and you need to play really, really well, and not deck fail. Life is really OP. They can do whatever they want. They can get away with whatever they want. Ice, I don't know. I don't know what to say about the school. The school is unplayable. It's unplayable. The only thing they had was Winter Moon, and it's just like ever since Winter Moon was gone, they've already been struggling. You know what I mean? And it's just Winter Moon since Winter Moon shafted, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's just unplayable. I don't know what to tell you. I guess you can pack Ice Colossals. I don't know, like what? And I don't know what to say, bro. You can set up your gambits, but that's not gonna be, you're not gonna be alive by the time you do that against Fires. It's not like, you know what I mean? But it's a decent school. They really struggle against lives. I think they really do. It's a very, very slow matchup. It mainly ends up in like, timer, honestly, but I don't know what to say about the school. It's a very good school. It's a very fun school. But it seems like, I don't know, they just don't like the school because it doesn't have one decent gambit. I guess you can just Ice Burn, like, right? I don't know. So I would say this school is very slow, and honestly, you just need to play it safe. That's all you need to do. You need to, like, if you're an intelligent person, Ice will not be too hard for you. Honestly, you just need to like sit on, you know what I mean, just decent gambit, clear their, you know what I mean, shields and blades. You have a great dual school. Fire is a great dual school. You can't get trapped. You can't get like they can't PvE you. This is why the school is OP. But other than that, it's a slow school. Like it's really fun to play Ice when all you need to do is just sit on Braze and then you just set up your gambit. Simple. It's really fun. Did I talk about every single school? I think so. Fire is beyond, you know what I mean, broken. But honestly, that's the only spell that's breaking Fire, and they will eventually take care of it. But other than that, that's all the schools. But I don't really know what to say about that. And it's a Shadow Pip meta. Let's be honest. We need better Shadow Pip rating, honestly, so we can just PvP with any gear that we want. Otherwise, it's just you're gonna be mandatorizing like raid gear, and that's just not gonna be. I don't know. That's just not it for me. That's just personally my opinion. I don't really think that. I want to just play with raid gear because I want to play this boot drive, for example. It's so good. These boots are just so OP, and I just want to use it, but it's not doable because you don't have Shadow Pip rating. You don't have raid gear. You don't have this. Do you know what I mean? It's like my stats are amazing, but it's just not doable. I really want to play balance like a Storm and just hit, but unfortunately you can't do that without raid gear. Raid gear is mandatorized, and I don't know what to say, but I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments what y'all think.